Hello, everybody. It is Felipe back with another episode of Felipe Talking. It's 3 a.m. Couldn't sleep, and I have to record an hour-long video. Because I'm trying to do things with this channel. Yeah, and one of the variables that needs to be hit is the 1 hour long video. So I'm gonna try and talk off the cuff for an hour, see how well I do. I realized that looking over my old footage, the main trepidation I have, or the main reservation I have when it comes to speaking off the dome, is not being PC, saying things that are gonna offend people, trigger people, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and say that if you're quite the sensitive individual, you should not watch this video. You should not watch this video. I'm really gonna be trying to be as authentic as possible, because truly, life is too short. Life is too short, and the self is always shining through. So, like, I truly love and respect all individuals on this planet, but like, I'm not gonna get along with everybody. A friend to all is a friend to none, and so I want to find my tribe. I want to be more polarizing, and so like there's gonna be some, some pretty graphic imagery, yeah, as a result of the words that I utter. Maybe just trigger warning, just in case. I'm gonna truly, like, none of this is rehearsed. I actually don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I'm just blabbering on. Free association station. What is a good topic to talk about? Talking about. So this is a good one. Iterating models. So improving upon models, systems that you just come up with. That doesn't really make much sense, right? So when I first lost weight, always goes back to my being obese. It was just truly, it's like a character defining moment. It's the character out of the 117 billion people that have existed, and out of the 8 billion that exist right now. For this Philip Kim character mind body complex, it was truly a big arc. Like, if there were to be a manga written about me, it would be like truly the biggest arc, the biggest deal in terms of development. But yeah, so initially I just ate one Costco salad a day. I believe the Costco salad comes out to about 400 to 500 calories. I didn't use the dressing though, and they give you a substantial cup worth of dressing. And it got to the point where I was really, really craving the dressing, and so what I would do is I would dip my chopsticks in the dressing, and then the amount of dressing that, like, the minuscule amount that ended up coating the chopsticks, I would use to, help take the lettuce down, take the cherry tomatoes and the chicken down. And so I really I would wager that I only ate about like 300 to 400 calories a day. And yeah, that resulted in my losing over 80 pounds. And yeah, now looking back, it's absolutely the worst possible diet model, because I wasn't hitting enough protein. I wasn't getting enough protein. It was way too aggressive. I actually don't even understand how I wasn't, on the verge of collapse all the time. I guess I was just that fat. Definitely not a sustainable diet model for people who are at a healthy body fat. And so when I go on cuts now, right, my maintenance calories are about 2,800, because I average around 15 to 20,000 steps a day. And so, I try to hit 1 gram, not really 1 gram, like 0.86 grams per pound of body weight, and that comes out to like anywhere from 130 to 140 grams of protein at the moment. And so those are my maintenance calories, and there are 3,500 calories in a pound. So if I want to lose 1 pound a week, I just go into a 500 calorie deficit. So I eat at 2,300, keep protein the same. And then if I want to go into an aggressive cut, then I eat 1,800 and keep protein the same. And yeah, like all the recipes that I've developed now, it's like I can get disgustingly full. Like I can actually want to puke on a diet, because I know what like calorically not dense foods I really resonate with. Like I have my own recipes, you know? Like I have the recipes that I resonate with. It's life is truly a fucking video game. It's absolutely a video game. And it's just the laws of physics. The laws of physics are just the laws of the game engine, the rules of the game engine. And so never forget, like, there are only two questions to ask yourself. Is it physically possible? And have the conditions been met? So it's like, is it physically possible for you to attain your goals? If yes, then you just have to reverse engineer the conditions being met, right? So it's like, I always go back to the 4'11 guy, like imagine a 4'11 guy with Down syndrome. Is it physically possible for him to jump to like a 10-foot basketball hoop? Like, is it physically possible for him to jump? I mean, for him to dunk without any exogenous help? It's like basically impossible. I would wager that it's impossible unless he has like the most insane amount of high twitch muscle fibers like aggregated, and even then the cross-sectional like muscle mass, the amount of the volume of muscle that he would have in his quads and his glutes, like it probably wouldn't be able to produce enough force. Oh, who knows though? But you know, it's bordering on physically impossible. So, but like, you know, like when people tell me about like, oh yeah, I really want a girlfriend, or I really want a wife and kids, but I just don't think I really don't think it's gonna happen, man. I'm just like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Truly, this comes up everywhere I look in my life. I call it the 4% rule. The 4% rule. 4 out of 100 people are going to really resonate with you. Really, truly, genuinely resonate with you. Let me just go through all the instances in which I've witnessed this 4% rule. So number one, it was when my brother told me about Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett are very accomplished investors, and they hold seminars, and they were hosting a Q&A, and one of the gentlemen in the crowd attending the seminar approached Charlie and was just like, you know, you really seem to have such incredible individuals all around you in your vicinity. Like, and they're only incredible. Like, you don't have any bad eggs. Like, how are you such a good judge of character? And Charlie was just like, yo, dude, I'm not a good judge of character, but this is how it goes down. This is how he breaks it down. If he meets 100 people, 92 out of the 100, he just completely forgets. They're just not memorable. Just NPCs, truly. Then 4 out of 100, absolutely deplorable. Like, just don't want to have anything to do with them. The remaining four are absolute all-stars. Cold-blooded murderers. In the positive sense, in the positive way. And yeah, he just doubles down. He just invests, you know, press the invest button. And it's just, and then, okay, so that's example number one. Example number two is there was a cult leader. There's a cult leader named Keith Raniere. He was in charge, he was the figurehead of Nixium. Ended up being like a sex trafficking cult. But anyway, he's in jail now. But he was just talking about how 4% of the people that were recruited would respond within 1 minute to his sending out a text at 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, these mofos were truly ride or die. Absolutely ride or die. 4%. So if he went out and did outreach for like 100 individuals, four of them would become the ride or dies. It's just absolutely insane. And then also in my personal life, I was tracking my cold approaches. So I was doing picking up women, cold approach, like going to malls, you know, grocery stores, doing that for a while. And my contact info acquisition rate, so like the rate at which I got a number or Instagram, a means of contact, was about 40%. And then 20% of that 40% actually ended up going on dates with me. So it went from approaching 100 girls, and then so 40 out of 100 girls would give me their contact info, and then only 8 out of those 40 would actually end up going on a date with me, and then only half of that 8 was just like I genuinely resonated with, and we ended up, you know, being able to enjoy some intimacy, intimate times, PC, PG. Yeah, so it's again 4%, and it might just be narrative bias. It might just be confirmation bias, but I just see it time and time again. And if you think about Pareto, if you think about the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, right? If you think about the 80-20, and then you just isolate the 20, right? So that you do away with the 80, you hone in on the 20, and then you do the 80-20 on the remaining 20, then it becomes 16-4, right? So the creme de la creme, the 20 of the remaining 20, the 20% of the remaining 20% is 4%. Is 4%. So it's truly volume. It's volume. If you do something 100 times with your genuine best effort, I sincerely believe that 4 out of those 100 are going to be spectacular. Spectacular, absolutely. And it's like, once you know that, for me anyway, I just couldn't take credit. I just couldn't really have an ego. Like, of course people would like compliment me and be like, oh yeah, dude, you're doing so well, like yada yada. Like, it's not me though. It's just the dice. As long as you keep rolling the fucking dice, it's just gonna happen. It's just going to happen. And that's where you gotta be in surrender. That's where you're just in like, yo, universal principles. I didn't make the rules. I didn't even discover them. Like, if I've seen further, it's only because I stood on the shoulders of giants. There's absolutely nothing. I'm just a monkey. I'm just a 25-year-old monkey. Like, everything I know, everything that has resulted in a betterment of my quality of life has been due to some actually big, huge groups of guys coming together. It's like, yo, guys, like, it's kind of rough out here. Like what should we do? It's like, damn, dude, I think like we should just try out all these systems, and then just filter out the ones that don't work, and then we should write them down. Oh my god, write them down for sure. Just consolidate them into these fucking books, and then just make it hyper palatable because they're so good at writing too. And then you just approach one of your friends. He's like, yo, dude, like, this book is so good, man. Like, it was absolutely life-changing. I've read it 100 times, and they're like, you know what, dude? I don't like books. I don't really like reading. And I'm like, okay. Okay, like, what can I do? What the fuck can I do? And again, it goes back to surrender. That's why hanging out with people who get high all the time has been, well, not all the time, but like people who get genuinely baked out of their minds. It's so good. You just have to mirror their behavior because they truly do not give a fuck. Even when you hit them with like the most tragic shit, you just tell them like, yo, dude, there are like 50 million people currently enslaved, and like 12.5 million of that 50 are children. And then they'll just hit you with like, bro, that's crazy. And then they just go right back to just eating some chips and scrolling on TikTok. It's absolutely a superpower. A superpower in this day and age where everybody's basically schizophrenic. Everybody's basically just so in their head, they can't get present to the moment, they can't quiet down their default mode network, and it's absolutely driving people insane. And it's a skill. It's a fucking muscle. You have to put your foot down. If you've seen Lord of the Rings, I forget the second one, The Tale of the Two Towers, I think. Anyway, there's this king. And then the king's advisor is this like seedy guy named Wormtongue, and he's just constantly like blabbering like negative shit into the king's ear. And if you just take a look at the king, he's just lifeless. He's just gaunt and lifeless. And that's how I see most people. When I see most people, and I'm not coming from a place of judgment. I really love and respect everybody. We're all one. I truly believe that. I'm in no position to criticize. This is not a criticism. However, when I see somebody with just like very kyphotic, like thoracic kyphosis, just like really hunched over, and they like, when I attempt to make eye contact with them, they just immediately dart away. And it's not like I'm giving them the sociopath, psychopath glare. I'm actually like smiling and waving like, hi, how are you? And they just keep on moving. And it's like, okay, if it were just like one or two people, I'd just be, anomalies. It's the majority of people. I don't know if it's just an LA thing. I truly believe that I don't belong here. I truly believe that I love people so much. Smiling at strangers is absolutely the most underrated form of passive income, because like money's good and all, but goodwill trumps money any single day of the week. Any single day of the week, goodwill trumps money, because goodwill grants you access. And so many people have access to insane infrastructure. So if you were to go ahead and try to, replicate that infrastructure, like the tooling, like let's just say, for instance, you got chummy with like a nail salon, nail tech lady, and she like really developed a liking to you. Could you imagine trying to get a whole bunch of like mani pedi, like sets, and like all the nail to like all the knickknacks that go into operating a nail salon? Could you imagine like how much time and how much money it would take for you to replicate that? But like, just because you developed this wonderful relationship, she just gives you full access to it willingly, like happily. It's so crazy. So even from a manipulative perspective, even if you don't love people, it's actually in your best interest to make them like you. It's so crazy. It's like, I always say, like, spirituality is absolutely the most selfish thing, but the most selfish thing is actually the most selfless thing at a higher paradigm. Because you realize that it's just skimming from the top. It's just abundance. It's just constant abundance. I liken it to, if it goes back to the 4% rule, right? So I smile at 100 people, and then let's say 4 of them really resonate with my energy, with my vibe, and then they invest, right? They reciprocate the smile, and then they have an interaction with me. And then I'm just like, oh shit. And then it's like a volley. And then I give that energy back. I ask them what they're about, like, get to know them better. And then it's just a beautiful, positive feedback loop between wonderful people that you genuinely resonate with, and then the people that they just filter themselves out because they didn't reciprocate. It's a dance, right? It's a dance, and it's not my fault that nobody taught you how to tango. Honestly, like, nobody taught me this shit. Nobody. I had to be like, you know what? Why the fuck am I so inept socially? Like, how come there are some people, honestly, like, I distinctly remember, I don't remember the girl, but I remember what she said. She said, I forgot the guy's name too, but she said, like, I'm just going to use Tim as a, just general male name. He's like, Tim just gets it. Like, he was just so socially calibrated. Tim's just got it. Like, he just has it. Like, what is it? What was it? I was just immensely frustrated hearing that. I was just like, why does Tim have it? Like, why can't I like, what the fuck what is so fundamentally wrong with me? And then I was just like, damn, they actually figured it out. All these old guys were just like, yo, dude, like, we've lived a lot, we've seen a lot of shit, we're just gonna consolidate everything we learned and just gonna package it, just put it in a nice little book for you. And you know what? Fuck the book. The book, yeah, reading, so 1930s, whatever, right? We're gonna record it. And Andrew McMillan is the guy who did the narration for How to Win Friends and Influence People. He has such an amazing voice. It's truly like honey. It's like a god just coating his trachea in honey, and it's just like, oh, like, this is, oh, and then just spilling it out. It's so good. I won't shut up about that book until I die. That book absolutely changed my life. It is the foundation on which everything I know about social skills, about spirituality, about, philosophy, like, everything that is redeemable, that has social redeemability, for me, is based on that book. It's based on that mother-loving book. And it's free on YouTube. It's completely free. And you can speed it up. You can speed it up to 2x. If you speed it up to 2x, it's gonna take you less than 4 hours. So think about that return on investment. You spend 4 hours of your day, right? So it's like, let's say you slept 8 hours. It's 1/4 of your waking day. One day, right? I'm on 9,152 days. So out of the 9,152 days that I've lived, you just take one day, and then just 1/4 of that one day, and then it will actually change your life forever. Oh man, but the thing is, you got to be able to read between the lines. You got to be able to read between the lines. Never forget that the levels for socialization go as such. It's at level 1, it's what you say, so the words that you're saying. Level 2 is how you're saying it, right? So like the way in which the delivery. And then the third level is why you're saying it, so the intention. And then the fourth level, this is the most important level. The most important fucking level. It's like, how grounded in your worldview are you? Like, how grounded are you in, like, I liken it to spirituality. I liken it to God. It's like, how tethered are you spiritually? And most people rank the importance of each facet in that order. They put the most emphasis on what they say, and then how they say it, and then why they're saying it, and then how they feel about themselves while they say it, when it's absolutely supposed to be reversed. If you just feel good, if you allow yourself to just feel good for no reason other than the fact that you exist, just by virtue of your existing, you feel good. Just like a child, like a 2-year-old child frolicking after a butterfly, in the middle of a park, just in absolute flow, in absolute bliss, just like that. If you can just recreate that for yourself right now, it is viscerally magnetic. It is absolutely, we are drawn to that shit like moths to a fucking flame. You could say something ridiculous like blah, blah, but you're just like having the time of your fucking life, and it's genuinely congruent. There's genuine congruence between like your body language and your tonality, even the tonality and like just uttering that gibberish. People can pick up on it. We are pre-verbal creatures, right? What the fuck what were we doing before language? What were we doing before language, right? Oh my goodness. So good. So good. Life is amazing. Life is truly, truly amazing. It doesn't have to be this amazing. It really doesn't. Like, I think about this all the time. I mentioned earlier, 50 million people are enslaved at the moment. 12.5 million of those are just children. 150,000 people die every day. 150. Like, I just say these numbers. Like, going back to the 12.5 million children. Okay, so the greater Los Angeles area has a population of 3 million. And then New York City has a population of 5 million, right? So every single person in both LA and New York put together, and it still would just be 3/4. It would just be, 2/3, my bad. It would just be 2/3 of all the children that are enslaved, right? Insanity. And dude, like, people are truly delusional. Like, they haven't woken up. They haven't woken up in the sense that, and truly, I really don't want to sound like a sanctimonious, like, oh my goodness, like, oh, look at these, whippersnappers not waking up and just, no, but honestly, 29,200 days in 80 years, right? So in 80 years, you have 29,200 days. Let's just round up, right? So it's 30,000 days. So 730, so 29. So okay, basically 82 years. 82 years, and then we'll just round up to 30. So like 82 years gives you 30,000 days. If you spent every single day from the moment you were born to the moment you died, like all 30,000 days, interacting with 100 unique individuals, you would barely be able to cover all the people in LA. So every single day of your life, you would need to interact with 10 unique individuals. And it would need to be a snapshot too, because like the era of time is, progressing. So like, they would just age and die, but like, you just can't meet them all. You can't. Like, this is life. You just get like 3 million's nothing. We're over 8 billion. Like this like more than 300 millions fit into 1 billion. It's 333 millions, right? So you have to multiply that by 111. 111. So if you were to meet 100 unique individuals from the day you were born, snip umbilical cord, to the day you drew your last breath as an 82-year-old, you would meet 3 million, right? And then multiply that by 111. and then multiply that by 3, and then multiply that by 8. That's how many people. That's so like, can you? It's inconceivable. It's inconceivable. So you absolutely need to shut it out. Shut it out. 770 million people don't have access to clean drinking water. 1,300 babies every single day die from malaria. 1,000. Can you visualize 1,300 babies? Their existence is, yo, what's up, dude? This Earth thing is nice, I guess. And then the mosquito's like, yo, dude, I kind of disagree. Dude. It's like, see ya. Wow. Truly, life is supremely unfair. And here I am in California, Los Angeles, California. All Hollywood movies are filmed here. All of them. Just, yeah. And I have 0 chronic illnesses. I have 0 allergies. I'm 25. I'm literally prime of my life. You know, I have so many people in my social circle that are they're just truly angels. Just truly angel. Like, and I want to take credit. Like, my ego, my ego really does want to be like, yeah, you know, I'm kind of cool. I'm kind of awesome. Like, that's why I have such a good circumstance. And it's like, no, it's the fucking cosmic dice. Every single variable that has played a major role in shaping the high quality situation that I'm in right now was completely outside of my control. Completely. It's just God. It's just whatever you want to call it. The universe, God, you know, like natural selection. Just take your pick. I'm talking about the same thing. The isness, the being. God bless America. Truly. Yeah. Remember, it's all about how you make people feel. It's all about how you make people feel. You got to induce an emotional response, engender an emotional response in people. People want to just feel. They just want to feel. And a guy that I follow, his name is Julian on YouTube. Like, I've learned so much from him. And he talks about fun, carefree, passion. Fun, carefree, passion. So those are the 3 just viscerally attractive traits. And so like always when you're having a social interaction with somebody, it's just like, how can I make it carefree? How can we just, you know, pull the rod out of our fucking asses? Stop trying to like flex on each other. It really doesn't matter. It's like, yo, dude, like, I took a shit this morning and I got like a substantial amount of it on my hand as I attempted to wipe it, and instead of just, you know, getting another piece of toilet paper to you know, like, scrape it off, I just took a fat whiff. It's really not I'm just a monkey. I'm just a fucking monkey. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, it's really not a big deal. If we could just stop taking ourselves so seriously, if we could stop trying to put up a front, it's like, oh, look at how cool I am, look at how composed I am, like oh, fucking debonair 007 James Bond suave. No, dude. People don't, like, it doesn't. No, they just want to laugh. They just want to be like, I love you. That's it. Genuinely. We're just, like, oh God, just constantly just trying to justify our existence. Justify our existence. Just gatting around, you know, in our automobiles, as they say in How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like, just fucking going from one place to another. Never really taking it in. Never really being present to the moment. And it's like, oh, must accomplish this. It's like, oh, or else what will people think of me? Or like, what? Like, oh my God. And 150,000 people die every day. I don't know any of their names. I don't know any of their faces. And they're just fucking gone. Like, how many of those people were just thinking about, you know, the opinions of others as they drew their last breath? It's like, bro, it's just the most sobering thing to look at people in old folks' homes talk about their regrets in life, and it's just like, damn, I really should have just asked her on a date, or I really should have just, you know, went ahead with that business idea, or I really should have just. And it's just so heartbreaking. It's just so heartbreaking because nobody cared. Nobody cared. It's the 20-40-60 rule. It's like 20, when you're 20, you care about what other people think of you, and then when you're 40, you stop giving a fuck, or you stop caring about what other people think of you, and at 60 you realize that they were never thinking about you in the first place. It's just, think about it, guys. The aperture of your vision, right? Like, I'm looking at myself in the camera viewfinder right now, and there's a sign immediately to the left of the phone in the back, and now I know it says restrooms, but it was just so blurry. In huge font, it said restrooms, but I wasn't able to make it out. Like, this is the aperture of your vision. The aperture of your vision is just like that. It's like, that's just what you can focus on, right? And it's like, if I tell you to count to 150 and then, you know, also think about like a pink elephant, and then like talk about why, you know, Nanking was like an atrocity, like you know, just how bad Nanking was. It's like, you wouldn't really be able to juggle all those tasks at once. It's like, you can really only focus on one thing mentally too, right? At least for me. It might just be because I'm cognitively impaired, but I just have this vision. I have this just insanely small aperture vision, and then when it comes to the things that I can focus on internally, it's just one thing, right? And then, like I said, 9,152 days have elapsed, and there are only 29,000. I'm actually hyped to hit 9,200. Once I hit 9,200 in 48 days, that's like a month and a half. Then I'll have 20,000 days if I get to make it to 80. If I get to make it to 80, I'll have 20k days left. 20k days. It's just going. It's just going gone. Just going gone. It's just like, what is this? What is this existence? What? And we're just going. It's just like, yeah. I just want everybody to be happy. Give yourself permission to be happy. One of my favorite exercises is close your eyes. Close your eyes. Do this with me. Imagine yourself with your dream significant other, like the girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, or husband of your dreams, right? Then you imagine yourself living in your dream home. It's fucking nice, I'm sure. Like, if you want kids, if you want a dog, you know, just absolutely just visualize the perfect scenario, and then just sink into the physiological sensations that you're feeling as you depict it in your head with high fidelity. Like, as you make it extremely detailed inside of your head, just how do you feel inside? How do you feel inside? Like your significant other just warmly smiling at you, laughing. You know, maybe your kid's running around with like a helium balloon, just like, well, you know, and just like a golden retriever is like, oh, and then you're in this beautiful home, and it's like, do you feel the tingles in your diaphragm? Do you feel like the relaxation of your upper back? Like, I definitely do, and that's the power of the mind. I just gave myself permission to feel that way. Does that make sense? Much like if I say pink elephant, you're just gonna immediately visualize a pink elephant. You have to put your fucking foot down. You have to put your fucking foot down and say, I am going to be happy now, right now. And it's from that place. It's from that place that people will be drawn to you, and that opportunities will be drawn like truly moths to a fucking flame, because this shit is viscerally attractive, like a fucking magnet. Okay? People love energy. People love feeling, and people love sustainability. Sustainability. Don't you like passive income? Don't you like it? Like, don't you like setting up, you know, cash flowing assets that literally just send money? It's macro sustainable. You don't actually have to do anything. You don't have to interfere. It just comes in, right? It's like, don't you love like the seasons, the cycle, like Earth going around the sun? Macro sustainability. Like, it's like just adherence to universal principles leads to such a beautiful life. Such a beautiful life. But temptation is so fucked. And it's not even that good. It's not even that good. It's just marketing that's so good. Marketing is so good because anticipating an event is usually better than the actual event itself, because marketing has just gotten so good. I liken it to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Doritos Locos Tacos, but they spent an ungodly sum of money in research and development for that Taco Bell item, the Doritos Locos Taco. And basically the flavor engineers just gave you just this cocktail of spices and flavors that just was engineered to be as addicting as possible, right? And so that's kind of like how I see shit in the media, like our world now. We've just become acclimated to the Doritos Locos Tacos, the over hyper stimulation. And then so when you go back to eating just a regular corn tortilla shell, it just doesn't hit the same. It's just like, dude, what the fuck is this? Give me my Doritos Locos Tacos. And it's like, dude, can you just appreciate? Can you just develop or rediscover, or reawaken, resurrect the capacity to appreciate the corn, just the naked, savory corn? Can you do that? Because it's so good. It's so rich. It's so bold. But no, it's the Doritos Locos Tacos. It's the Doritos fucking Locos Tacos. Yeah. It is what it is. And that's why it goes back to hanging out with people who get high, because they're so good at just letting it go. They're just like, damn, that's crazy, and they just go on with their life. It's so beautiful. It's a masterclass in not giving a shit, because I cannot control other people. I can't control other people. I'm just like, yeah, dude, like, it's probably not the best idea to eat in a caloric surplus all the time. It's probably not the best idea to ingest alcohol, marijuana. It's probably not, like talking in terms of suggestions, because God forbid I bruise their ego. God fucking forbid. And guess what, dude? Like, you're not escaping. You're not, like, nobody is successfully escaping, right? Because the arrow of time is, like I said, 9,152. So every time I engaged in some escaping activity where I was just like, watching a movie, hanging out with some friends, just tabling activities that I knew needed to be done, I wasn't successfully escaping. It would be different if it were Groundhog's Day. It would be different if I could just relive the same day every single day and time wasn't, progressing. It was just truly, genuinely reliving it. Time is going. You're just distracting yourself. And one day the bill will come due. One day, the Grim Reaper will show up with a scythe and be like, did you enjoy your experience? Did you fucking enjoy? And 150,000 people get him every day. So just familiarize yourself. Familiarize yourself with all the, like, everything that's going on. And nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so, right? So develop that resilience. Develop that resilience. Don't arbitrarily label things as good or as bad. You just recognize that as this monkey, as this mind-body complex in this human body, it's just so limited. And I just can't account for all the variables. It goes back to Nassim Taleb. I don't know if it was Black Swan or Anti-Fragile. It was probably Black Swan. It's the known knowns, and then the known unknowns, and then the unknown unknowns. It's the unknown unknowns. It's the unknown unknowns that always end up having the greatest impact. Right? Like, who could have anticipated the smartphone becoming as prolific as it is now? Who could have anticipated 5G, right? Like, just internet connectivity basically everywhere. 20 years ago, really? Could you imagine going up to some guy in 2003? 2003 is 20 years ago. Oh my god. And just being like, yo, dude, we're gonna have like supercomputers, everybody. And you're just gonna be able to just surf the web and from anywhere, and it's like super fast. And you see that movie that you're watching? The camera on our supercomputers is gonna be better than the camera that was used to make that movie right there. So, yeah. How about them apples? Yeah, dude. And that's just 20 years. And progress is just going hyperbolic. Just going hyperbolic. It's so beautiful out here. It's so beautiful out here if you allow yourself to see the beauty. If you allow yourself to let it in, to let it land, to let it fucking land. If you surround yourself with people that are just looping on the negative, just trying to, it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because it doesn't change the fact that all those atrocities are going on right now. All those atrocities are going on right at this second. Like, can you just feel their suffering? Can you just imagine if you had like 7 siblings and like 3 of them have dysentery and like they have like hernias and they're just like crying because they're in so much pain, and like you like, let's say you're orphans too, like both of your parents died in a car accident or whatever, right? And you don't even have access to clean drinking water, and you're like you're the oldest brother, and you just kind of have to take the reins, and it's just like you just look up at the heavens and you're just like, why, why? And you see people, just living it up in America, right? Just like, like, oh my God, let's go to the beach. Life is supremely unfair. Supremely unfair. And I didn't make the rules. I didn't make the rules. That's just, I did not make the rules, right? But identifying what those rules are, absolutely necessary, right? Like, absolutely necessary. Don't lie to yourself. You're just doing yourself a disservice. If you truly loved yourself like you loved your own child, would you lie to your own child and forsake his development? Like it's the responsibility falls on you, the parent, to guide the child, to make him do things that he doesn't necessarily want to do for his betterment, because he doesn't have the capacity to reason yet, right? And it's the same thing for us. Like when we're in a hyper emotional state, we lose that rationality, right? Temporarily. And so you just got to go back to the drawing board and go, you know what, dude, like just being real, just looking at myself in the mirror right now, I'm kind of like, I'm really fucking, and it doesn't matter what other people are doing. Again, it goes back to, damn, that's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. Let them live their lives. You do not have to be fat. You do not have to be like poor. You do not have to drink. You do not have to smoke. Like no, it's not sustainable. No, stop it. I was thinking about this the other day. I was just like, I've never once thought to myself, damn, I really wish I could murder people. Like, I feel like, like murdering people would really complete me, right? Never have I once thought that. Never have I thought once, like, damn, like, it really sucks that I can't murder. I see all those guys in wars and shit. It's like, I really want to fuck some people. I say, no. So it's like, if you could have that attitude towards the vices as well, it's like, it's like, alcohol is like weed, fuck, like, it's all about emotions. It's all about emotions. And again, I'm not criticizing anybody. God knows I'm a fucking train wreck, guys. I'm a fucking train wreck. I'm just a fucking monkey, 25-year-old monkey that doesn't know shit. So please don't take offense. I really hate people getting defensive over my saying stupid shit. I'm just gonna say stupid shit for the rest of time. Like, please don't let it get to you. Don't let it get under your skin. I love you. I respect you, and I'm sorry. Dealing with people. People are amazing. People are everything. What use is owning the universe if I have no one to share it with, right? Like, just gotta be with your homies. But you gotta find your tribe. You gotta be like, yo, guys, this is what I'm about. Because when you're putting on that front, when you put up a mask, when you just act a specific role, then you're alienating the people that would have resonated with you. And think about the opportunity cost. Think about the crazy good relationships you could have had, but you insisted on being somebody that you weren't, to get the approval of people that you didn't give a fuck about. That you don't give you like I said, there are 8 billion people. And even if you spent every single waking day of your 82-year-old life meeting 100 unique individuals, you would only hit 3 million, dude. Like, there are so many people. That's what they mean when they say there's so many fish in the sea. Like, think about it logically. That's how many people there are. And it goes back to, like, what I was saying about my stats in pickup. It's 4%. 4%. But those girls truly resonated with me. Like, it was such a gratifying experience emotionally, not just physically. Like, the physical is whatever. It's honestly, it's truly whatever. It's the emotional bond. When she says, like, I'm so glad that you approached me. Like, nobody has ever approached me before. And it might, like, she verbatim said, it might just have been the best day of my life. Like, and to hear that, like, can you, oh my God, like, this guy who's morbidly obese, just never had never even touched a woman, like didn't lose his virginity until he was 19, like just truly, like just so, just viewed myself as just this disgusting piece of shit. To hear that from somebody I genuinely was so viscerally attracted to, it just hits different. And it's like, that's the fucking juice right there. That's the juice. That's the juice that you're holding yourself. You're just absolutely, like, it's overflowing. There's just so much juice everywhere. It's literally a waterfall of nectar, and you're thirsty, and you're just like, nah, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm just gonna stay thirsty. It's like, why? Fucking why? Just take a sip at least. Just take a sip. You might like it. Fuck. Like, God damn it. Confucius says it's like the way out is through the door. Why is it that nobody will use this method? It's like and again, guys, I am a monkey. I am 99% blind spots. Of course, there are so many things. If I get a council of 100 people that I respect and I have them audit my life, they'd be like, "Yo, dude, like, you're kind of a fuck up, bro." And I'm like, "Dude, for sure. Like, I'm sorry, but like, yeah, it's true. It's, dude, but again, like, that doesn't mean you don't feel happy now. Like, it doesn't mean, of course I'm insufficient. Like, I'm a 10 out of 10 on a being level. But am I a 10 out of 10 basketball player? Am I a 10 out of 10, like, attractive mate? Am I a 10 out of 10, fisherman? Am I a 10 out of, no. Am I a 10 out of 10 waiter? Am I a 10 out of 10, like, funnel builder? No, it's like, why do you need, you don't need to be a 10 out of 10. Am I 10 out of 10 at speaking English? It's like, no, fucking, like, public speaking, no. I'm just this cocktail of bullshit, right? And it's like, and that's fine. I don't have to justify my existence. I don't have to be, I'm just like, oh my God, like, I need to accomplish X thing, and then I'll give myself permission to be okay. It's like, no, it's like, how ridiculous. It's like somebody fucking stabbing himself, and it's just like, you know what, once I reach that milestone, I'm gonna allow myself to pull it out. It's like, just pull it out now, and you can get to that milestone even faster, at fucking light speed compared to the pace you're going at. But again, this world is just devoid of spirituality, right? Like, take your pick. Read the Quran, read the Bible, read the Bhagavad Gita, read Tao Te Ching. They all say the same shit. Just take your pick. Absolutely. Where do you think, what kind of material do you think Dale Carnegie sourced How to Win Friends and Influence People from? Absolutely those books. Absolutely those religious texts that stand the test of time. Like, there's a reason they've survived for thousands of years. Universal fucking principles, right? I'm not saying you have to believe in God. I was an atheist for a very long time. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. Was like, just completely became a materialist. There's like no way God exists. And then now, absolutely, it's just in and through everything. Just to recap, Advaita Vedanta, so like a sect of Hinduism that I subscribe to. This Cliff Notes version is, there are three states, right? There's the waking state, there's the dream state, and there's the deep sleep state, right? So this is the waking state, what I think, right? Hopefully I'm not dreaming. And then there's the dream state. So when you go to sleep and then you see shit, you're conscious, right? You're observing the dream. And in the deep sleep state, you're not observing anything. Nothing. It just feels like time fast forwards, and then you wake up, right? So those are the three experiences you have in your life. And then the witnesser, the one that is witnessing the waking, the one that is witnessing the dream. Because you said, I had a dream, or I slept like a log. It's like, what is that I? It's not this body. It's not this waking body, right? And it's like, if I want to hold on to this 25-year-old body, it's like, oh, like, I really like how this body is right now. Let me just lock it in. It's like, no, dude, no. Every single day. I'm 25 now, so I'm just on the decline now. I've begun the physiological decline, right? It's just going. All the processes that are just completely outside of my control, that sustain my experience here. I am not this body-mind. I am the one that is witnessing it, and you are too. And what is that? The Mahavakyas, the great sentences. Tat tuam asi, that thou art, right? So you are God. You are aham brahmasmi. I am Brahman. Brahman meaning the infinite. Anything that you can perceive or conceive is God. That's what that means, right? So it's like, and a lot of people lose, like I lose a lot of people when I say that. It's like in a dream, everything that you perceive to be an concrete external object is actually just you, right? So it's like, let's just say you're in a dream right now and you're watching me on a phone or desktop or whatever, and you're seeing me, and it's just like, oh, you know, I'm this guy and I'm watching Phil on this monitor. And then you wake up from the dream and you're like, holy shit, that was all just me in the dream. And there's absolutely zero difference between the dream state and the waking state. It's the witnesser, the one that is witnessing this conscious experience, this waking experience, that is the one that is generating all of this. Literal author of space and time. And it's been proven in like was it, I don't know if it was just in the journal Science or, well, no, the Nobel Prize literally went to a group of scientists who disproved local realism. And I don't know the nitty gritty, but local realism is basically the idea that like objects exist when they're not being perceived, and they absolutely disproved it. So it's like shit does not exist until consciousness generates it, right? So it's like the science has caught up. That science is caught up. And that's exactly what Baruch Spinoza was talking about, right? It's just like when he was talking about God, he was talking about the impersonal, the transcendent God. I mean, the transcendent and immanent God, right? So it's like the transcendent God is the white-bearded guy in the heavens, but it's also the God that is in and through everything. In the dog, in the tree, in the light, in my hair, every single thing that you can perceive or conceive is just God. It's just God. And it's like, you want to call that the universe, natural selection, God, whatever. It's just, he believed, Baruch Spinoza was talking about in ethics, it's like, it is our duty to understand, to learn more about how it functions, he functions, whatever. And that's what science is, right? It's just taking a logical approach to deducing what all of this is. And so the inevitable reconciliation of religion and science, truly, we get to witness it. We're in such a crazy time. AI, the ability, my ability to just speak into this fucking rectangle thing and just have this video live on forever. Truly. I might die tomorrow. Or actually today, I guess, because it's almost 4 a.m. now. 4 a.m. You know, this was immensely gratifying. I didn't think I could do this. I didn't think I could speak off the dome for about an hour, but it goes back to release muscles. I was so obsessed with, you know, like making people feel comfortable, or like, you know, just making sure not to say anything that would offend people, and therefore I was stifling myself. I was stifling myself so severely. And now I'm just like, yeah, I just don't care. And as soon as I go into the I don't care mode, it just flows out. Just flows out. I'm just talking to this camera like as if I would talk to my friend. It's so natural. It's so beautiful. And it's that deep emotional, you know, resonation that people are pining for. They just want that connection, right? And so when you see somebody who's feeling it, yeah, right? Like, ¿pueden sentir el fuego que está dentro de mi alma? ¿Puedes sentirlo? Like, can you fucking feel it? Is it coming through? Is it coming through in my sub-communication, in my voice, in my facial expressions, in my gesticulation? That's it. That is it. There's just a finite amount of variables that you can manipulate to produce the effect, to produce the charismatic effect. It's truly an orchestra. And it's like, how insane is this? I just have an amorphous idea in my head of just a general intention of what I want to communicate, and then I'm just like spitting out words. I'm not individually selecting the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm not going like, okay, so the next word is going to be this and that. It's just automatic. It's It's just automatic because I'm in release, right? Release, 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 release. Just relax. Absolutely the best tip when it comes to approaching women as well is to be in surrender. Just surrender and be present to the moment. Just be present to the moment. Anything done for its own sake is art. Anything done for its own sake is art. That is my favorite definition of art. And so if you have the interaction with the girl for the sake of having the interaction, right? If you come in with that needy car salesman energy, it's like, oh, I really want to have sex with you. I really want to go on a date with you. I really want you to be my girlfriend. It's fucking repulsive. It's repulsive, dude. And it's like, you don't even need to say any of those things. It's just absolutely so apparent in the sub-communication. I'm talking about myself here. I'm not criticizing anybody. Guys, like, please don't get self-conscious about approaching girls. Like, God, like, if only you could see, if only there were like a documentary crew just recording all the cringe things that I've done. Oh my goodness, you guys would never be able to feel embarrassed. Like, oh my God, oh God. Just thinking about it is just giving me an aneurysm. Oh my goodness, dude. It's like, so it's like whenever you have like an ick interaction with a girl that you're into, just remember, it's like, you could just mutter to yourself, at least I'm not as bad as Phil. At least I'm not as much of a yikes as Phil is. God damn, dude, life is crazy. And I've forgotten 99.9% of it, right? Like, all the girls that I've approached, I don't remember their faces. I don't remember their names. Like, a few I do, but most of them I don't. It's just, and in the moment, it's such a big deal. It's like, oh my God, like I was literally like, my knees were trembling. I wanted to throw up and piss and shit myself at the same time. It's just like, it was just such a big deal. It's just such a big deal. But now in retrospect, it's like, what on earth was I thinking? And this is the human experience. This is the human experience. I distinctly remember, this is back when I was going to the LA Fitness in West LA, Bundy area. And there's a park nearby called Stoner Park. And there was this absolutely gorgeous lady just doing a calisthenics workout. And I saw her and I thought to myself, damn, she would never, like, I would never be able to get with her. Or like, she would never, go on a date with me. And so instead of just going up and having a conversation, having an interaction with her and allowing her to reject me, I just rejected myself and kept moving towards the gym. And while I was walking towards the gym, I'm like, this is natural selection working exactly as intended. It's literally working exactly as intended. If I can't get over the fear of just having a cordial conversation with a woman, then I definitely do not have the right. I should not be reproducing. I definitely should not be reproducing. And when that occurred to me, I was just, oh, fuck that. Oh my God, that's so fucked. Like, that's literally the universe telling me, like, yo, dude, like, you don't get to have kids. You don't get to fulfill your biological like drives. And I'm like, I'm good. So I went back, I approached her, and I would love to tell you guys, I would love to be able to tell you guys that, oh my God, like, she was into me, and then, like, we went on a date. And as I know, wasn't interested, but it was that moment. It was that moment where I was just like, dude, no one gives a shit. And if I'm not gonna do it, then the universe doesn't care. And it's just gonna be like, yeah, dude, like, what can I say? You just literally weren't good enough to reproduce. Like, it's working exactly, like, natural selection is working exactly as intended. Yeah, insanity. Life is amazing. Life is so amazing. Damn, my teeth are freaking white. I also have this, like, my lips, even if I just lick them just a little bit, they get into, like, this pastel swollen state. And a lot of people make fun of me for it. It's quite accentuated in this camera. Yeah. It's 59 minutes and 29 seconds. I can't believe I did it. It was actually so much fun. Recording this video because I was in release. Because I didn't give as much of a shit. Yeah. Thank you so much for the people that stuck through that just listen to me blabber. Oh God, I'm not even going to bother trying to watch it. I just needed to record an hour for the sake of recording an hour. Yeah. Maybe I'll do more in the. Of course I'll do more in the future. Of course, like, dude, personal brand, developing a personal brand is so. It's just the absolute juice right now, it really just came from. It really just came from childhood trauma. It really just came from fear of what other people think. Every fucking time. Yeah, it's okay. Again, it goes back to finding your tribe. If you're not polarizing, what did Jesus say? It's like, either be hot or cold. But if you're lukewarm, I'll spit your ass out, right? So it's like, be hot or cold. Then you will mingle with the hot people or the cold people in temperature, not attractiveness. You should, try to always mingle with the hot people. Actually, the cold people too. Fuck, like, absolutely. Again, it goes back to life is supremely unfair, and the variables that dictate the most important aspects of your facial aesthetics, again, completely outside of your control. Or even if they were in your control, you didn't have the ability, you didn't have the knowledge, you didn't have the information, you didn't have access to the information to rectify shitty behaviors at a young age, and you're just kind of like, the bones have just kind of they've ossified. They're just concrete now. They've just settled in. And surgical intervention is the only way. Like, when I look at people with class 2 malocclusion, dude, class 2 malocclusion, and like, I'm just like, again, it's just luck, because I was a chronic mouth breather as a kid. I was like mouth breathing like crazy. I would like there was like footage of me sleeping as a kid, and just snoring like a mofo. I don't get it, right? Life is, again, it's unfair. It's unfair, but you just gotta, like, we live in the best time. Just make some money, just hire a plastic surgeon. Just like, yo, dude, like, this is very not good anatomically and aesthetically and physiologically. It's just all around not good. And again, that's only a problem if you're so identified with the mind and body. If you conflate your self-worth with your sexual desirability, then you get into fucking problems. Then you get offended. But why would you conflate your self-worth with something so transient and completely outside of your control? It makes no sense at any level. Of course it feels bad. But yeah, it feels bad that, fucking 50 million people are enslaved right now. It's like, whoop-de-doo. What can I do about it? So you just gotta hit him with the, damn, that's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. Because the only way I can get to a point where I'm going to actually be resource rich enough to help those people is if I stay in my lane right now. Conquer myself, or not conquer, but like, take care of myself, then take care of my friends and family, then take care of my community, then take care of my city, take care of my country, take care of the world. Concentric circles. And if during that journey I get murked, oh well. That wasn't up to me. When you see somebody that frustrates you, just think to yourself, and this is again from How to Win Friends and Influence People. If I had that person's genetics and that person's environment in this permutation of reality, so his genetics, his environment, and reality played out exactly as it did here, in our collective reality, I would be exactly as he is. I'll be exactly like him. I'll be no different than the way he's presenting himself to me now. So again, cosmic fucking dice. And so, like, yeah, you can't do shit about, you can do shit about your genetics, but not really at like a huge meaningful level. So it's really about environment. Environment is absolute. You have control over environment. So please get around people that are amazing. Get around people that genuinely want the best for you. And life will it's so good out here. It's so fucking good out here. I love you so much. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back very soon. Bye.